their story tonight, and to every person who is watching out there online, and to all of you for sticking around, because I have not done this in a while. Okay, so I thank Angela, right? I was asked to perform tonight by PAVE, but I haven't played live since I released my rape statement. Mostly because my catalog includes reminders of what many of us have felt and been through and continue to go through. I figured that I could start publicly speaking every 7 years, if that's okay with you, about my rape. So I'm going to ask all of you to imagine with me, just for a little while, because this is the only way I'm able to speak on this. Okay, so imagine being 8 years old and hearing your mother being sexually assaulted by a neighbor in your house, unfortunately forcing both of you into rape culture. Imagine as a young girl having to live in that house for years with no charges being brought against your mother's rapist. Unsafe home leads you to more unsafe people. Imagine at 17 you start an all-female queer band in Florida and you write some very cringe-worthy lyrics about your trauma. Sorry, Mom. You meet a man who you thought shared your dreams of becoming a touring musician and fine artist. Imagine feeling safe enough to move in with him and his roommate, eventually telling him about what happened to your mother. And what you think you've experienced, he begins to think of you as property, hurting you when you are alone, but always apologizing after threatening to kill himself when you try to leave. Imagine your band starting to gain popularity, but your boyfriend's insecurities cause him to start telling you who you can be friends with, smashing your things, and punching you when you break his rules. After an argument, he forces you to the ground and rapes you. Your roommate hears you screaming, "No," and he tells your rapist to leave his apartment. After going to a family member, imagine he tells you that you should not report this crime because it would ruin your reputation and shame your family. Words that were spoken to my mother years before. In turn, you start compartmentalizing all of your trauma, but it bleeds into your music and art to this day. Imagine, even after relocating to Los Angeles, you are slandered and threatened by a rapist's now powerful camp of industry enablers. After telling a handful of people, they tell you to not say anything, because they know it will destroy you. They also know that you are making money for an industry that does not believe you, does not want you to heal, and enables predators. You disassociate and convince yourself that you are the only one your rapist did this to. But of course, you start hearing and reading that your rapist has been inappropriate and continued to physically assault and victimize fans and significant others. You are not the only one. Imagine a movement gains traction in 2017, Me Too, and you are able to publicly name your rapist. He is fired from his band, even though he doesn't deny a single allegation. You are now targeted for speaking out. Now you are a public survivor. That is us. We are harassed, hacked, stalked, doxxed, gaslit, and lied about by strangers online and people that we thought were our friends. You even have false allegations platformed against you where the person makes money on a fake story but removes it after a year. No apologies. Sound familiar? Your life becomes a nightmare just for speaking the truth and wanting to help stop the cycle. Now imagine being unable to suppress your trauma as you're constantly being asked about it by others, including the media. Imagine trying to heal by helping survivors who contact you for help, creating a safe space online, but only to have it invaded by people who mean you harm and want to invalidate other survivors. Imagine after years later, you reach out to your ex-roommate who heard you being raped decades ago. He acknowledges that it all happened, but he won't go public. He doesn't think it will do any good. Now fast forward and imagine no charges have been brought against your rapist. He continues to slander you and shifts blame of what he did to you to his bandmate who fired him, who also has many accusations against him. Now imagine realizing that you've been in rape culture for 4 decades. 4. Now stop imagining, because this happened to me, and it happened to too many of you. My mother is Nancy. She passed away from cancer in November, and she will never receive justice. My name is Jessicka Adams, and after all that I told you, I still have hope. With the help of PAVE and all of you, we can shatter the silence and end rape culture. It's not going to be easy, but it is possible. Please donate and help PAVE spread awareness and further educate anyone who will listen. For every survivor who has felt used, re-traumatized, lied about, silenced, forgotten, let down, and felt like you are not enough. You are enough. We are enough. You are strong, you matter, and you are not alone. You have community, allies, and now you have me. Thank you.